It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
From Jackson Dart, it's exciting. He's got leadership, he's got intelligence, and he's got moxie, which is a fun thing. I don't like his release. I think it's slow. He dances like Drew Lock. Not a huge fan. I don't think Giants fans should be excited at all.
Okay, we'll definitely say that on air.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's assessment of Jackson Dart. He dances like Drew Lock, but he's got moxie, PK. Is moxie a big Jersey word? Big East Coast?
Ryan Fitzpatrick's from Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Highland High School, so I don't know about that one. And who's Drew Lock?
Former quarterback. He was with the Broncos with a few other teams.
Played at Missouri in college.
Why would I want to be compared to him?
You wouldn't. I was not a
I'd rather
positive.
be compared to David Locke.
You would. You would. The Raiders need a backup quarterback. They go and get Kenny Pickett from the Cleveland Browns in exchange for a fifth-round draft pick in next year's draft. So now the Browns down to 3 quarterbacks, and the Raiders have their backup. Raiders also have Jacoby Myers, who had 87 catches for 1,027 yards and 4 touchdowns last year. He's requested a trade after being unable to get a new contract from the team. He's slated to make $10.76 million this season. So we'll see if he gets his trade or if he gets a contract or how that works out. They give him nothing and make him play.
And Tyreek Hill, he may need the services of Jacoby and Myers.
Oh.
17-month marriage, and he's been ordered to pay like $500,000 every month. No, $50,000, my bad. Only $50,000.
$50,000 a month. $600,000 a year.
That's in addition, she received $500,000 check earlier this summer and $100,000 towards a new car and $457,000 to cover legal fees.
It's a lot of money. 17-month marriage, huh?
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson's standoff with the Cincinnati Bengals is over. He gets a pay bump this year from $16 million to $30 million in a reworked deal. He refused to play on his previous salary. So he almost doubled his money. Texans starting running back Joe Mixon will not be activated from the non-football injury list by today's deadline. He'll be ineligible to play for at least the first 4 games of the season. So Mixon's sitting out for a while. And as we told you at the end of yesterday's show, Terry McLaurin got a new deal with Washington, 3 years, $96 million, $30 million signing bonus. So everybody was holding in and wanted a contract. It looks like they're getting taken care of one after another. And we're waiting on the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. They'll be last.
And Tyreek Hill filed for divorce just 2 months after their marriage.
So married for 17 months, but
it wasn't bliss.
15 months of slow separation.
Yeah, if you can't go at least 3 months, that's a bad coupling.
Got to get through 90 days.
Right. Like Uenta has a 90-day guarantee. You can bring the club back and get another one.
Got it.
Yeah, so you got to go at least 3 months.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Bear is a guy that is very mature, someone that you don't think of as a freshman quarterback. He's got the body of a linebacker and, his mentality that he's had on all camp. He doesn't act like a freshman quarterback. So when you go out and you make plays and you lead the team, it doesn't matter if you're, a freshman or you've been in college football for 6 years. People rally behind you and they trust you. And I think once you go out and you prove that, which he has during camp, and I think which he will during these first couple games, then we just get rolling. And it doesn't matter the age or, the experience, but that you go out and you play well. And that's what he's going to do. So we're excited for him.
There is BYU wide receiver Chase Roberts on the quarterback, Bear Bachmeier. Hear any new qualities about Bear, or this is just what people say about him?
2 words, 12-0.
That'd be 3 words.
Well, O is technically a number, as is 12.
So 1 word, 2 numbers. Okay. Yeah.
Well, if you spell it out, then it becomes a word.
Okay. Chase named captain at BYU, along with Keanu Tanavasa, Tanner Wall, Jack Kelly, and L.J. Martin. They're your captains for the 2025 season. Former Utah State running back Rasul Faison had his waiver for another year of eligibility approved by the NCAA. He'll be playing for South Carolina against Virginia Tech this weekend. He was second-team All-Mountain West Conference last year, ran for 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns in Logan.
Yeah, he was a good player, man. No doubt about that.
Think he's hearing, it's just the Mountain West. The way Devin Dampier is hearing that from BYU fans. It's just the Mountain West. Or have we seen enough guys now move up from the Big Sky and the Mountain West and other leagues, the MAC or whoever else you want to throw in there, that now it's just a case-by-case basis.
I think it's always been.
Yeah. Some guys will step up and do it and others won't.
Yeah, I've said just because you play in a lower perceived league doesn't mean you are a lower perceived player. And he was a good player here. There's just no question about that. And there's plenty of guys from the other leagues are in the NFL, and there's plenty of guys who are in the big leagues, so to speak, that don't make the NFL. In fact, most of them don't.
Texas coach Steve Sarkisian understands the starting quarterback Arch Manning has a lot of eyeballs and pressure on him, but his message to Manning, as Longhorns prepare to take on Ohio State Saturday, has been, we're not asking any superhuman efforts of you to do anything that's extraordinary. Go be you.
Yeah, that's the cliche we
right?
always hear.
What you've done
just
is good enough.
Be yourself. Wow, that's just sage advice. Be yourself. Be who you can be.
Now go play the way he's capable of playing to the style that he's comfortable doing it.
What pressure's on him, man? If he quits today, he'll never have to work a day in his life. What pressure is there?
Wants to prove to the world who he is and what he can do.
How about you're 15 years old and your father gets laid off from his janitor job? You want pressure?
That's a different kind of pressure right there.
Yeah, that's real pressure.
Yeah. Nebraska starting quarterback Dylan Raiola has modeled himself after Chiefs star Patrick Mahomes, said it's not imitation. They have the same number, hairstyle, mannerisms, etc. But circumstance.
Do they like the same clothes?
Quote, everybody be like, he wants to be like him and all this stuff. It just so happens he played baseball, I play baseball. He plays quarterback, I play quarterback. I can't get mad at God for making me look like him. It ain't cap, it's real love. Mahomes is cool, bro. He knows what it is.
Do they like the same bands?
I don't know. Good question.
Raiola, he spent some time in the Valley of the Sun, too.
Always see stories on how many quarterbacks are from Texas in D1 football. But you got a pretty good number from Phoenix, don't you?
332.
No.
All time? Look it up.
Okay. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
And Durbin, a high fly ball, deep left field. Gurriel at the track. Bye-bye baseball. Caleb Durbin homers in back-to-back games. And boy, is that one big swing of insurance for the Brewers here in the bottom of the eighth.
1-1 to Jazz. And a high fly ball down the right field line. Way back and gone. A two-run homer for Jazz Chisholm. His third two-run homer in 2 days. And the Yankee lead goes to 7-0.
The 3-2 on the way to Cal. Swinging a well-hit ball. Deep to left field. Head into the upper deck. Stay fair. Upper deck. Goodbye baseball. Number 50 for Cal Raleigh. He becomes one of only 33 members of the 50 home run club, and the magical season just continues for Cal Raleigh. Holy smokes, what a shot.
Cal Raleigh, home run number 50. He's already got the record for homers by a catcher. Now he ties Mickey Mantle as the only, or joins rather, Mickey Mantle as the only switch hitters to have 50 home runs in a season. Mariners beat the Padres 9-6.
Cal Raleigh Pomona, popping them out of there.
Padres now a game behind the Dodgers because the Dodgers shut out the Reds 7-0. Emmett Sheehan, 7 innings, 2-hit ball, 10 strikeouts. A dominant performance for a team that's had a million pitching injuries. That's got to be a sight for sore eyes.
Absolute blessing.
What do you think about Max Scherzer?
Love the guy.
Dominate in the postseason again. Just won his third straight start for Toronto. They beat Minnesota 10-4. Max Scherzer, been there, done that, knows the pressure, knows the moment, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I can say that Toronto was a very, very dangerous team. I look at rather than individual in baseball because there's so many guys that need to participate and contribute that they have, I believe, what it takes to get to where they want to go, which is obviously the World Series. And it would not surprise me at all if Toronto is playing in a World Series.
Feel better about Toronto or Detroit? They're the two teams with the best records, and obviously anybody who gets in might get hot and do it.
A little more Toronto.
A little more. Red Sox trying to get into the wild card. They're in a wild card spot right now, so hold on to that. They beat Baltimore 4-3. Yankees also in a wild card spot. They beat the Nationals 10-5. Ben Rice and Cody Bellinger having big games. Rice homering.
Bellinger's a Phoenix guy. Chandler High School.
Angels skipper Ron Washington revealed he underwent quadruple bypass surgery in June. He's still recovering from the procedure, plans to rejoin the team ahead of next season. He was in Texas to meet up with the team after being away from them since undergoing his surgery in June. Reports say that Ranger manager Bruce Bochy could be looking to leave the team at the end of the season, but he does not plan to retire from managing. There's a thought he could rejoin San Francisco Giants if GM Buster Posey opted to fire Bob Melvin and reunite with his former bench boss.
Yeah, it'll feel so good.
Bees are opening up a series in Round Rock, Texas tonight. Tony Parks on the call. Broadcast at 6. First pitch at 6:05. What is trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Frank Dolce is going to join us at 8 o'clock this morning. Bronco Mendenhall, Aggie football coach at 8:30. It's a Ticket Tuesday. We'll be giving away a 4-pack of tickets to see the Bees play at the new ballpark at America First Square in Daybreak. We'll do that coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Stick around for that. The question of the day is coming up next.
Hut, hut, It's game week for the Cougars. And the Zone is getting you ready for kickoff. The Cougars open the season at home at LaBelle Edwards Stadium as they welcome in Portland State. Listen all week long for the best coverage of Cougar football and your chance to win tickets to the game. Then catch college football Saturday. Game day at 10 a.m. with a postgame show immediately following the game on KSLSports.com. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is live on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app.
Yeah, boy.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nominate the youth sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week. Submit your nomination at KSLSports.com/contest and listen every Thursday afternoon to the great JJ and Alex for the winner. Help us celebrate the efforts of those volunteers making an impact with the Hercules Hero of the Week. And it's sponsored by Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals.
DJ and PK, it is time for the question of the morning. What is with Utah and Utah State not releasing a depth chart for the first game? What are they doing, PK?
These fetchers.
Because they don't have to.
Well, they never had to, but they did.
Yeah, that's true.
Why the change? Individual reasons. Kyle's bored.
He just needs something to do. Now that he's not as cantankerous as he was when he first got the job.
You're going to make me do one thing, I'm doing another.
Well, let me tell you, man, he is on my list, though.
Him admitting that yesterday.
He's on my list.
What?
He called me old. I'm proudly old, but I'm younger than he is.
Yeah. So whatever he says, you're rubber and he's glue.
Grandpa.
Bounces off of you and sticks to him.
I'm not a grandpa. He's an older man. So
more mature.
By how many days again?
I mean, you're younger than me by how many days? Days are just simply days.
Fair.
We can't argue that. Days are days.
Days are days. Okay.
Days are days.
That is
Days
interesting.
are not nights.
It's an inarguable fact.
Right.
Well, I think our work here is done for this segment. We'll
Yes.
just sit here quietly now.
He's older than I am. So, on him. Calling me old. And it just, everybody, Kyle.
Uh-huh.
And I said, hello, coach. I don't need to call him by his first name. Everybody
Hello,
calls him by his
coach.
first name. I mean, we already know. Like AP style book says you only use the first name on first reference. And then that's it.
And we're all on the 1 billionth
So
reference.
I
of
don't
Kyle,
need every single person who asks a question to
Kyle.
say, Kyle. We know who he is. We know who you're talking to. So I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. Say a little, hello, coach. What?
This pause in the press conference, Jock. If you listen, you can hear
I heard
this
it.
big old pause as these two look at each other and start giggling like fourth graders.
Okay, the way you delivered it. Hello, coach.
I just felt like it was two guys getting ready to torture some poor substitute teacher. This sub's like, why did I take this phone call? I should have just taken Friday
Well,
off.
it was the first official greeting of the year of a new season. The brand new Mondays press conferences that they have, right? And so I thought it was appropriate instead of saying Kyle, like, I'm not talking to Freddie. I'm not talking to Brady, his brothers. Everybody knows that's who we're talking to. But nobody addresses him like coach. There might have been somebody out there who was confused, who's listening. Who's this Kyle dude they keep talking to? So, boom, I put it out there. Hello, coach.
Hello, coach.
So Kyle doesn't release a depth chart because he's bored. He's going to have to do injury reports later this season.
Yeah, you only have to do them for conference games. They have no rule over them. A rule of tyranny, I might add,
in the non-con.
over the 3 non-conference games. But what they hope are 10 conference games that they have to release that. And so now is he going to dog and pony that too?
Gosh, I hope so.
I'll show you, Brett Urmark. Get over here, and I'll just break you in half. You little 155-pounder who weighs himself every day, as he told us. And you weigh yourself every day.
You want a trophy?
Yeah, good for you. Whoop-de-doo. Aren't you special? And probably knowing him, he probably does it the metric system. So he doesn't have to have the depth chart. I think it's silly. But
They're hoping to
he's playing.
surprise somebody since they brought in 40, 50, 60 new people.
Everybody does. Everybody did. Apparently, Deshaun Foster is just upping it. He won't even let players be available for interviews.
Wow.
For features. Now, Tony Jones, a good writer around here, is moving back to Philadelphia, so they had a little gathering last night. And the 10th person who asked me, where's DJ? I finally said, I don't know where he is, and I don't care. Jeez. Now, eventually you did show up.
I did.
It was bugging me, man. I had heard that apparently there was some story on 3 is a website and a college thing, basically. Apparently there was some story that they did, and Amalavea, the new quarterback who came over from Tennessee.
At UCLA?
Yeah, he was quoted in it, but it was all phony. It was bogus.
Oh, really?
But he responded to it, and that got everybody in a huff, a down air. And so Deshaun Foster has declared everybody off limits, which if you rank the programs that are in the Los Angeles area above high school and of the male species in football, I can argue that UC Los Angeles is last in attention.
The Trojans of the Rams, they're 1-2. And then
I think the Chargers are up there too. And
Chargers.
NFL. If for no other reason that the Chargers are playing teams that come into town that there's massive fan bases.
Right. Chargers 3, Bruins 4. Is that what you're getting at?
I might put Mater Dei ahead of them. I mean, they're way down the food chain, and so he's banning everyone. So you got that going on there. And then here with the no depth chart, at least they let you interview the guys. But people are pulling back. But the depth chart.
Were we going to spend that long on it?
Well, I could probably get 80% of the starters off the top of my head. And if I had a roster, I'd probably get 90 because I'll forget somebody. And the thing about it is you will play a bunch of guys. So as Dillingham says, I don't know, who cares who starts? It's the same basketball thing. Who do I got in at the end? When the game is on the line, that type of thing. Obviously, and there's a couple positions that don't shift around a lot. And he's spoken of, Kyle, the 2 offensive linemen and the 3 seniors on the insides. So we pretty much know who it is. But maybe they don't down there. And Deshaun Foster is gleaming. I wonder who's going to be that second nickelback.
Any tendencies? If they knew a tendency of the second nickelback, maybe they could pick on him and make a big play.
Yeah, but I think that in this era in which we live, that you can go back to Jason Beck and when he was working under Robert and I, or when he was working under Ron McBride, if you wanted to. Now, certainly you can go when he was calling his own place at New Mexico, and he went back, was over there with an eye in Syracuse and all that stuff. So you could get that. You can get so much information these days. It's so funny in that, and I am old. I don't deny it, obviously. When I first came up here and the Utes were basketball, were just rocking and rolling, that they played, I think it was Canisius in Dallas in the old Mavs arena.
In an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah. And so the thing comes out on Sunday, right? And they get labeled sent to Dallas to play Canisius. I think it was Canisius and then Iowa State, if I remember right. So they're oh man, we got now the pressure's on. They get coaches they're on edge the whole season, man. It's very stressful for them. A lot of it is self-induced, but nevertheless, what's the difference? And so then it was like, oh, they've got to get as much information on Canisius as possible. And, of course, I'm thinking, why?
You're going to blow them out.
Yes. You've got NBA players, and Canisius doesn't. And one of the guys on the staff follows me out to the car because I had the Sporting News basketball.
Oh, is this where you tear a page out of the preseason?
And the Sporting News had hired me to do a big piece on Van Horn, right? And so they sent me the copy. So I just had it in my backpack the whole season. It just was in there. Yeah. And he follows me out to the car, and literally I'm ripping the page. It's a magazine, right? But you can't get it right to the edge.
You're trying to make it as neat as possible.
Yeah. So you don't want to cut off a big sliver. And this would have been, I think it would have been Van Horn's senior year. And the funny thing is that he had the mild case of the flu or something along those lines. So he did not play that game. And what did they do? They slaughtered him. I think he stayed back in the hotel to rest up for the second round.
They were taller, they were quicker, they were more talented, they were more disciplined. And
Right,
worked him.
I mean, if you count guys who really didn't have a big-time role but were going to, they had 5-6 guys who played in the NBA. And so, and obviously Keith and Andre and Doliak, guys who played many, many years in the NBA.
But hung a medal on top of that.
Right. And so they were so just, what was the word? Just anxious, I think. And a lot of people misuse the word anxious. They misuse it for eager. But in this case, they were so anxious. And that's how they got their first look at Canisius to find out. Well, now, today's world, I mean, you get so much information. And I told you, McGuire down at Texas Tech, I was listening to an interview he did, and he said he literally has staffers who go on the internet to try to get daily information on the teams. And he was specifically talking about Utah because that's their first game. And try to get as much information as you can. So not releasing a depth chart from Utah's perspective, I don't think makes a difference. I think Bronco likes to play more games along those lines. I think Kyle's just doing it like, oh, I'm going to one-up you. I think Bronco is doing it.
Who's Kyle one-upping?
Really no one.
Okay.
Because he didn't have to release a depth chart, a injury report for non-conference games. But it coincided with the conference's decision, which is funny because when he talks about the game in general, I always perk up because a lot of the stuff that he's been saying years earlier has come to pass. And so he's long advocated that everybody do it. And he even brought it up yesterday in terms of, he doesn't want a literal match and copy of the NFL, but the more they go in that direction,
he talked
the
about
better it is for the game.
Yeah, he talked about exhibition games.
Yeah, and he said that, we should have a universal injury report, and then we don't have to play these games. But until we do, I'm going to play these games. And he's spoken about long time, everybody should play the same amount of conference games. Well, now we have the SEC. Well, obviously the SEC had discussions, this new metric thing that they're going to use and strength of schedule and, I don't know how they're going to figure it out, whatever. And then not too far after that, maybe only like 48 hours, it comes out they're starting next season, they're going to go 9 games and they're going to have a scheduling model. Mm-hmm. And
it's just the ACC needs to get on board, and then Kyle's vision will have been fulfilled.
And I think he's right. When you're all playing for the same prize, you should have as much universal rule as possible, knowing that nothing is going to be exactly the same for everyone. It's just impossible to have that level of everything be the same. Mm-hmm. But try to get it and move towards that direction. And I think the public wants it too. And I think that's the most important thing is that the NFL has done a phenomenal job in responding to the public. And I think the NBA has gotten a lot better. And it took MLB a while, but they got there. And I think your sport and the soccer, when they talk about this officiating, if you go on and talk about it, there's got to be something to it. So it's viewed as a negative, but really when Pablo and Christ and those guys talk about this or that, they're actually talking about to make the game better. It's not to make it worse. It comes off a little bit as whining because you lost and you're blaming the referees.
Game.
Yeah. But if you can get past that as they continue to do it over the course of several weeks, you got to listen. And your commissioner and the folks, the powers that be, need to listen to what these guys are saying because they're at the ground level and they care about the game and want the game to be played in a manner that elevates it. They obviously care about the sport, and they've been in it literally probably since they were 5 years old.
It's not that different a path than what baseball's gone down with you can't argue balls and strikes, and yet the calls are so brutal sometimes that people do keep talking about it. And now getting to this automated, umpire calling balls and strikes. They've experimented.
Which I don't want.
They've experimented in the minor leagues.
I don't want that.
You want the chaos.
Yeah.
The chaos.
Because that's the only sport that there's literally something to be decided by an official every single play. And it adds to the intrigue. Oh, man, this guy's strike zone. What is he loaded? Or, man, he really calls it tight. Oh, he likes the high one. He likes the inside one, blah, blah, blah. And it just adds a little more intrigue. And then who doesn't want to see Boone come out and stomp that dugout getting to the umpire?
Yeah. I follow an account. I don't think you do this. Super 70 Sports. And he does all the historical stuff and is always looking for comedy gold. And he tweeted out a picture of Earl Weaver.
Oh, back then, yeah.
Actual Earl Weaver conversation with an umpire. Earl, I'm going to check the rule book on that. Umpire, here, use mine. Earl, that's no good. I can't read Braille.
Yeah.
And he's always out there just giving it to umpires, running out of dugout, yelling at him. And the crowd's going nuts when he does it.
So I don't want I don't want to take the umpires out of the game completely, which is if you add the ball and strike, you're darn near there. Because they can make the call all they want, and then it can be reviewed. So why even have them in the first place? Just go to wherever they go in the NBA. Although I do think it gets a little silly. It bugs me in the NBA. It seems like these referees are making a call sort of nonchalantly, knowing we'll just go to Secaucus anyway.
Yep.
And it slows down the game in a game that already can be tiresome or cumbersome or monotonous with the fouls, particularly at the college level. Down 10, 2 minutes to go, make a bucket, call timeout. Drives you nuts. Let's finish this game so we can go home, man.
Move it along, people.
Yeah, we got stuff to do, and I think most people, for a college basketball game, it's like 2 hours. That's it. Anything over 2 hours, I'm losing. You ever go to a lesson and it's supposed to end at 10 o'clock and the teacher thinks he or she's got some phenomenal wisdom and at 10:03 they still haven't released it? Well, anything past 10 o'clock, no matter what you say, is not being received because everyone's thinking, I got to go.
People looking at their phone. It's go time.
I just gave you 50 minutes. If you can't give it to me in 50 minutes, why do I have to give you 3 more? No. If it's that important, then put it in the 50 minutes.
See?
I mean, Yak's 9-year-olds that he teaches on Sunday, I've heard from them complain a ton.
The 9-year-olds?
Yeah, it's like, come on, you got me for 50 minutes.
My eldest quorum is about 9 years old. Yeah, okay.
Well, the way they act.
Front load it, baby. Get the best stuff out there while you still got them before they check out mentally.
Yeah, it's
Start
teach them the
daydreaming about
inverted pyramid
clouds.
style.
Inverted pyramid.
There
Yes.
Like they teach you how to write.
Yeah.
Most important stuff at the top.
Yeah.
And then by the 50-minute mark, you're down to just a bunch of superfluous stuff that really, just filling time, man. Like,
Anybody else got any comments we can finish up with?
Yeah.
So is this inverted pyramid for the coaches then? I mean, Bronco doesn't release the depth chart.
But
Now
Bronco
with Kyle,
plays these games with the team.
Okay.
I don't think Kyle plays the games with the team.
So
you got to earn your number.
Kyle's got the money game week 2. They ought to win. Whereas with Bronco, they're going to play Texas A&M week 2, but Texas A&M is just going to sit there with the film and then
Right. It only works for one.
Right. Somebody will be logging every play and they're going to know.
Oh, for sure.
And they're going to know who's third depending on how deep they rotate through whatever position.
Well, I think they already do know to a good degree because they've been scouting Bronco at New Mexico, at Virginia, and his coordinators where they've been. Bryson Barnes, there's a ton of film available on him. He's a tough kid, decent passer, and we all know what Bryson Barnes brings to the table. We've seen him play enough now. And so that's what they do that stuff in the summer to get ready. Everybody prepares. They tell you they prepare for the first 3 games because Kyle has said many times, you really don't know what you have until like the 4th game or 5th game. I think he goes 4. So the first 3 you can pretty well count on. And plus 2, there's that cat and mouse game that they like to play for the conference games, and you don't want to show all your stuff early because you want to be able to go into that, particularly this year. I mean, I can argue, and I know I said it last year, and it's foolish, but I could argue that Utah-Texas Tech is the game of the season in the
like
Big 12.
Utah-Oklahoma State was the game of the season. It was Oklahoma State's last chance to win a game. They had to be one of the bottom teams in the league while they could.
Well, that was the last time Utah won a game for 2 months.
I know.
But particularly for Utah gets that game, and that's a great win. If you lose that game, that can be considered worse than actually winning it because the idea being you've got a home game, 50,000 people, blah, blah, blah. They got to travel, yada, yada. And I don't think Tech has been to Salt Lake in who knows how long.
No idea.
Yeah, right. So that would be a game that if you lost that, you'd have don't go look it up.
No, I'm going to go ahead. You're going to take a long time telling the story. Go ahead.
And just because you tap lightly on the keyboard, we can now see. So we all know you're still doing it. You really are intrigued to when the last time they played Texas Tech?
If ever.
That is sick.
I am. I'm sick. I have a sickness. I have an illness.
Who gives a flying you-know-what? I just
Yak
throw
does.
that out there.
Yak does. He wants to know.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he could care.
When you go
I think
out of
he
the
has
room.
zero care.
When you go out of the room,
I don't
he's gonna
urinate
ask
till
me.
8:45, so I'm not going out until then. I've got my pattern set.
Like clockwork.
Right. Unless I'm doing Trajan then I may go at 8:30. I mean, everyone has and I don't have a trade. Usually, don't have trades on Tuesday. They are your local trusted financial fiduciary.
Never. Texas Tech hosted the Utes twice. They've only played twice ever.
And nobody gives a
Both
crap.
in Lubbock. Well, they do now.
No, they don't. They even care less now. That's the one time where you could say, I could care less.
Would you like to finish this thought, or should we go to break?
I already did.
Okay, then
and
it's
you
break time.
derailed me with nonsense
Oh,
again.
you're too mentally tough for that.
But you
can't be
derailed the
derailed.
audience. See, I'm a spokesperson for the audience.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, I'm too tough for you. We all
go.
understand that. But I care about the listener.
Awesome.
That's it. And you derailed them. They didn't want to hear about that. They wanted to hear about the salient point. If you lose a home game, then you got to find a way to make it up maybe twice on the back end. And that's going to be harder. So that game has a lot of importance, a ton, and I believe it'll get a prime time. If you want to look up something relevant, they last played Texas Tech in 1947, who gives a you-know-what? Tell me who Texas Tech plays in the non-con to see if both teams are 3-0, and then that has a chance to be picked up in a pretty good time slot by one of the over-air networks. That's what I'm interested in, not that they last played in 67. Nobody cares.
They didn't play in 67. You didn't even hold on to the salient fact.
That is, but it's not. It's an irrelevant fact.
That'll be Texas Tech's trip to Salt Lake. Will be the first road game. They open up with 3 home games in a row: Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State.
Okay, well, obviously Oregon State would be the likely the most difficult of the 3, but they should be 3-0, and I fully expect the Utes to be 3-0.
DJ PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Coming up at 8 o'clock. Frank Dolce, former Ute quarterback. Stay with us.
It's game week for the Aggies, and the Zone is getting you ready for kickoff. Utah State will kick off the 2025 season with a battle at Maverick Stadium against UTEP. Listen all week long for the best coverage of Aggie football and your chance to win tickets to the game. Then catch all the play-by-play action, beginning with the Aggie pregame show this Saturday at 4:30 on 1280 The Zone. Your home for all the play-by-play coverage of Aggie football is live on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The band of the day is Florida Georgia Line. Co-founder Brian Kelly celebrating his 40th birthday. It's brought to you by Live Nation for all the live concerts and events in 2025. Check out livenation.com. Got a question up here on Facebook. Kyle Whittingham says college football, as it is now, is not sustainable. What can be done? Nate, unionize, salary cap, different financial tiers. College is semi-pro now. Get on with it.
I think it's above semi-pro.
Shane, he just doesn't want to admit that the game has passed him up. He can't handle the fact that other teams and coaches are better than him. Yeah.
You know, just because you reach a certain age, Shane, you're going to reach that age unless you die.
Is there a BYU logo in that bio?
So are you prepared, just simply because you age, that means something has passed you by? And obviously I'm biased in this. I'm not denying it. Is that really the case, Shane? Because you're going to be in that situation one day.
LA Dodgers in the logo.
I don't think the game has passed him by at all.
There are plenty of people throwing that out there, and I don't think it has passed him by. This is one where he is exactly where most of his peers are. Knowing that this is going to be discussion, I put the thing in college football unsustainable, and tons of quotes came up. There are just so many. The Big 12 had a roundtable, and a story came up from about 4 months ago.
They should have a square table.
They should have had a square table. And they could have four on each side with 16 coaches. It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it. And Nick Saban talked about it 4 years ago.
How come they never say, if you're old, it blank has passed you by? How come they never say you haven't grasped it yet because you're young? You never hear that. It's always on the other side.
Well, I think that's what they mean when they say someone's inexperienced.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's not ready for it, because you just said that that's what they mean for Bachmeier. He's not ready for it? Because you're inexperienced doesn't mean you're not ready for it. And just because you're old doesn't mean it's not passed you by. Come on, or has passed you by, either way. But Whittingham has the ability to speak for the good of the game because he's earned that stature to where he is, in a sense, a caretaker. Because being as old as he is and literally that's how he's made his money all these years and has been in it. I mean, he's essentially, I don't know if he worked at Sizzler or something in high school maybe, but outside of that, his entire employment has been in football, right? And so he's seen massive amounts of changes.
Court says, I love Kyle, but adjust with the times to retire. He's not adjusting, and the program is not progressing.
Man, I don't see that, man.
And the program not progressing, you can literally look at these 3-year spans from the time he got hired, and every 3 years is better than the 3 years before. And the rare occasion where it's
right
not.
now, though. I mean, that's in the, you can't go to the past if you want to talk about the present all the time.
He's had 2 quarterback injuries, which is
but that's on him
teams.
to prepare for quarterback injuries. It's not, you had a quarterback injury. Okay, you're not let off the hook just because you have a quarterback injury.
Well, one of those years went much better than the other, and the fan base was much happier with that season.
Let's deal with now rather than back then. But my argument is adjusting. That's a present term, and he has made adjustments. They are paying guys. They figure these things out. He said probably 2 years ago, you're going to have $1 million to $1.5 million for a good quarterback. That was 2 years ago. He also said that the top 25 is going to mirror the money. And he wasted zero time on any romantic reminiscing about the beautiful Pac-12 days.
He would say things like, adjust or you're going to get passed by quickly.
So I think he is adjusting. Progressing, that's another story. I mean, injuries played a significant factor last year.
The progressing now will come down to, did he pick the right offensive coordinator who brought the right quarterback with him or not? And we don't have any games yet to judge that on, but stand by. Here they come.
I think he will, and I think they will, and it will be fine. I don't know that they'll win the whole thing, but I think that you can have a good season without winning the whole thing. BYU can speak to that. BYU had an outstanding season. Yes, there was some disappointment along the way, but so what? I mean, Ohio State, there was disappointment along the way. I mean, they lost again to Michigan, and they got into the playoff, and we know what they did. But I don't see that. I actually, as I said, I think I said it in the prior segment, I really enjoy when he starts to talk about the game as a whole. You know, what is good for the game. Because I think those types of guys, they can lend a lot of credence to what they say because they've been there and they can see and they know.
DJ PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Frank Dolce joins us next. We'll talk about progressing with him. Stay with us.